Welcome to Olympian Cares, giving you the best in water analysis. Today, we are looking at freshwater systems, how to remove copper from water. So we're going to learn what copper is and how you can remove it from water if it is too high. So first, copper is a naturally occurring metal in the Earth's crust, known for its red gold hue. Malleable copper is found all over the world in water, soil, rocks, plants, and animals. And you're most likely familiar with copper through its electrical wiring and plumbing materials. And before 1982, U.S. pennies were even made of copper. So copper is also essential to human health as it aids in energy production, nervous system, and a healthy immune system. The good news is the vast majority of people get the necessary amount, 0.9 milligrams of copper from their diet. The bad news is excessive copper can cause problems from your health and your home, and copper in drinking water is a water quality issue a lot of people face. And that can create things from upset stomachs to blue-green stains in your sink. Excess copper can be a burden. So how does copper even get into the drinking water? Copper gets into the drinking water through the corrosion of copper pipes, faucets, and plumbing fixtures. When water runs through copper pipes, copper is stripped from the pipes and dissolves into the water. Acidic or soft water, residual chlorine, and hot water exacerbate corrosion and allow more copper to enter the water supply. Also, when water sits in copper pipes for long periods of time, the copper breaks down and becomes concentrated in the water. Copper is not only a metallic contaminant that can also make its way into your water supply, household, or municipal plumbing. Lead is a far more dangerous contaminant, and iron can also leach into water supplies via plumbing. As lead and iron plumbing fixtures are likewise vulnerable to corrosion. Additionally, if you have a well, copper can get into the drinking well by contaminating your well groundwater source, but this isn't as common as a problem as pipe corrosion. Copper can also contaminate a well's groundwater through mining, farming, and industrial municipal operations. For example, copper is used in agricultural pesticides to control algae in water reserves and may run off and seep the soil into groundwater. What are the safe levels of copper in drinking water? 1.3 parts per million or less is considered a safe level in drinking water according to the EPA. The EPA set 1.3 parts per million as the maximum contaminant level goal for copper in water, which is a health-based goal and the level at which no known adverse effects on human health occur. Also in 1991, the EPA created the lead and copper rule, and this regulation requires municipal water supplies to monitor the amount of lead and copper in their water supply. If lead concentrations exceed 15 parts per billion and copper concentrations exceed 1.3 parts per million, more than 10% of customer taps sampled, the municipality needs to take action. Some side effects are nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, liver damage, and kidney failure, and side effects in your home are blue-green stains in the sinks, showers, faucets, pipes, and appliances, and bitter metallic taste from your water. So what's the best way to test to know? You can either use a certified laboratory or a home kit. Now, if you find excess copper, how do you remove it? Reverse osmosis uses pressure to push unfiltered water through a semi-permeable membrane, and the membrane has small pores that contain block contaminants such as copper that allow clean water to flow through to the other side. Reverse osmosis can remove 97 to 98% of copper in water. There's distillation, which is a water treatment that mimics how water is purified in nature through evaporation in the atmosphere. Water distillers convert water into steam, eliminating copper and other contaminants because they cannot turn into steam as water can. And once the water returns to its liquid form, it's contaminant-free. There's ion exchange, which is a process water percolates through a bed of resin beads. Contaminants are trapped through the resin, exchanged for ions that won't affect water quality, such as sodium, hydrogen, or hydroxyl ions, and the two most common ion exchange filters are water softeners and deionized water systems. There's the big question, does boiling water remove copper? It actually does not. Some water evaporates during the boiling process. Copper concentrates and can increase and render the water more dangerous, so it actually make it more dangerous. Now, how do you reduce the risk of copper in your water? You can do that by flushing your water system, by using cold water for drinking and cooking. To flush the water, just let it run for 30 seconds before using it. And that's important anytime a faucet's not been used for 6 hours or more. Copper is likely to dissolve in the stagnant water that sits in pipes for too long. And there actually is some benefits to copper, unlike other heavy metals. However, that is how you can know if copper is too high, how you can remove it, but you have to go ahead and test it first. That's why it's always a good idea to periodically test your water for high levels of copper.